Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. This one here is a Subaru WRX STI GC8. This is a Type RA. This is a super duper rare vehicle. This is the actual race car version if you wanted to buy an Impreza and then take it racing. So this is a lightweight version with a whole bunch of extra little bonus pieces, and this is, as far as I know, maybe the first one to go to the USA legally, because now that it's 25 years old, it is legal. But these, by the time they're 25 years old, are so rare because they were used as race cars. Race car drivers crash their car or beat them up or scrap them or export them or whatever. And so this is really cool. Really super extra ultra cool that we get to see this one. Let me take that key out. That's super annoying. Okay, so bought from auction for export. The person who bought it actually has been a long-time subscriber of the channel. He actually asked if we can mention the JDM tree, and so there it is. There's our JDM tree. This is something that we used to mention all of the time, like maybe 2 years ago or something. It's I don't know, just a tree. I think it was funny because, like, you know how everything in Japan is JDM, right? So that's the JDM tree, the famous one. Maybe not so famous anymore. Anyways, this one here is the closed deck version of the EJ20. What that means is that the coolant pathways are right through the head into the block, with them not having any buffer between the cylinder and the coolant jacket. So this makes for a stronger engine, and really was only used on the earlier engines. Later on they made the engines cheaper and I guess less reliable for extra power, extra heat, that sort of thing. So kind of cool. Those who know about it, they know about it. Also handcrafted and tuned by STI, because this is right at the beginning. And I think they only made, of the regular STIs, I think they only made 100 of them a month. For the RA, it was even fewer than that. I had the numbers listed on my website previously, but I can't remember them anymore. Okay, so close that up. I will tell you more about the RA in a second. First off, we're going to go ahead and translate this. So it looks like it's a previous race car, as most of the RAs were. Some people drove them on the streets, but it was pretty uncommon to have them last this long on the streets. It's a 1995 Impreza WRX Type RA STI. Note that the Type RA was available in the WRX and the STI versions of it. So this one's the better of the two, I suppose you could say. It's an auction grade 3, interior, exterior C. It's not in the best condition, but as I said, if it's one of the only ones that's in the USA, then it's definitely worth something. It says no claim here in a big text. Okay, so purchase from user, roof ventilator. This is one of the key visual differences. This is to cool your helmet when you're driving. Now, stock, these don't come with AC, and so that's, I guess, important. STI type LSD in the rear. And it says Öhlins shocks. It's not, it's Bilstein. There's an Öhlins sticker. That's Bilstein. Look at this. The rear diff has a protector on it. There's like an aluminum box around it so your diff doesn't take a hit. Pretty cool. There is also, on the front, a chassis brace on the underside. I don't know, can you see that? It's like a strut tower brace that goes underneath and tightens up your suspension. That's going to be pretty important on a car like this because it's older and less structurally integral than they used to be. Okay, so it says one owner. That's been crossed out. You're not allowed to say that unless you have the proof, like the paperwork proof. This says it comes with like the registration history there. Various aftermarket parts on it. It says the roll bar used to be in it. There's like cutouts in the carpets. It says monocoque. Roll bar monocoque. I don't know what they mean. I think I remember translating this and I got somebody else to help me with it because I didn't understand the meaning of that. Let's see in person for details. Anyway, so windshield rock chip and crack. Let's have a quick look over the windshield here. See if we can see that. Now the windshield is thinner on the Type RA. And so I guess more prone to cracking. There's the crack right there. And these weigh, I think, like 60 or 80 kilograms less than the regular one due to things like a thinner windshield, different headliner, less sound deadening material inside. It also has a driver selectable center differential. I'll show you that when we get to the interior. So dashboard comes up or is warped or deformed. In this case it is deformed. It looks like there used to be some sort of a racing computer mounted to it. The gauges show 286,202 kilometers, has winter tires on it, interior is dirty, has wear, various scratches, dents, scuffs. Right front window doesn't work. It's the power window for the driver. Interesting, I'll mention that in a second. Front bumper scratch, aftermarket wheels. Rear spoiler has been taken off. It has stickers. Engine room has some rust, and the underside has some rust on the roof, rust on the side here. The rest of the body is generally pretty good with some scratches on the rear bumpers. I actually didn't see the rust underneath the hood, so I'm going to have a quick little check there for the rust. We've probably exported about five or six of these type RAs, but almost all of them were like 10 years ago. Now, Subarus aren't known for rust in the engine room. I don't see any there. I don't really see any there. There's a little bit of surface stuff, but nothing I'd be concerned about. Around the battery is another place you're going to want to look. Don't really see any problems there. There's a little bit on the fan there, but that's nothing that I would be too worried about. A little bit on the radiator mounts. I think that the vehicle kind of sat out exposed to the elements between races. Maybe they would do like 2 or 3 races a year or something, because you get a lot of this surface rust type stuff. It's on the windshield wipers. It's on the brakes a lot. You can see the STI brakes. The rear brakes are even worse. Take a look. Lots of rust on them. And the brakes could work a little bit better, but the functional part of the brake will grind the rust off, and then you'll get down to the stainless steel eventually. Okay, wow, that was a weird beginning of this one. So let's have a look around. It's aftermarket wheels on it. Suspension is lower, but if you look at it, it does look like the stock suspension, so I'm not too sure about that. It's very strange to me. Rear spoiler has been removed, but this is before the big spoilers on the GC. Type RA badge there, not badge, sticker. And what I was going to say about the power windows. These cars, for weight reasons, have crank style windows, no power windows. And they don't come with AC. And they come with black handles, because I guess paint weighs something. Black mirrors too. Kind of strange. STI version 1s had black, and then the RA continued the black. And then from the version 2, they were body colored. Okay, and they don't come with lights. The STI comes with covers. The WRX comes with lights. Yeah, and so somebody put the AC back into this and put the power windows back into it, which is really weird for you to do on the RA version. And I'm not sure if the vehicle would be worth less because of that, because it's kind of no longer original. The later RAs, you could spec them as an option, but the early ones you couldn't, like this one. I think it was from like version 5. You can get the RA Limited, and those were full purchase to order, so you pick what you wanted. Anyway, we've got some fade on this and this, very similar to every Subaru ever. I'll show you the rust on the roof. There's rust there. A little bit on the roof vent. A little bit on the back corner. And then, as the auction sheet mentioned, some on the A-pillar. And it's actually more on the A-pillar here than I was expecting for C1, or S1, I'm sorry, they called it. Here's a look at the mirrors. Every other one has the body-colored mirrors, except for the RA. Okay. Black there. Some damage. Rally damage. You know what, when it comes time to sell this, don't paint it. Just be like, that's official JDM rally damage. A little bit of surface rust there and spoiler removal holes that have been taped over. Okay. Weird, tiny little exhaust. Okay. And then side panels are great. So the vehicle needs a good clean. As you can see, it's dirty. Maybe replace the brake calipers and rotors. But going to be a good little car, and it's that chassis number and being an official RA that is going to attract the attention. One of the only ones in the USA. That's very cool. Look up how many of them were made too, because not many were made. Okay, so take a look at the door cards here. And so they have the original holes from where the crank windows were, and then they removed them. You still have the hole there. If you put the crank windows back, I think that's probably better. There's some wear here, and I feel like it's like this piece here was replaced to get you the power window switches. It also has the same thing on the back doors with the holes. These ones have been covered up. Okay, so no rust inside here, which is something you're gonna want to watch out for something that's this old. Next time you change the oil at 300,000 kilometers. I feel like the engine was a little bit lumpy. I'm not sure. Have a good tune-up on it and see how it goes. I feel like these are strong engines. We have our old Impreza up there, version 5, has 280,000 kilometers and runs so strong. This steering wheel might actually be worth something. It's a Nardi official STI steering wheel before Momo started doing all of the STI steering wheels. So this might only be on the version 1 of the STIs. Seat, Saggy City, and Sabelt. Who doesn't want a good Sabelt? Kind of dirty, but that's rally dirt. And here's how the carpet was cut for the roll cage. I actually thought there would be a roll cage in it, but I guess not. But maybe I misunderstood. I'm not sure. I'd rather not have a roll cage in the car, though. Roll cages will kill you if you drive with them. Okay. So see in the center there? I'm going to put the key in so that you can see it, because this is awesome. Okay, so our RA exclusive pieces for the GC. Driver controllable center differential to different amounts of lock, from full lock to completely unlocked. That is really, really cool. Now the door's open, so it's screaming at me. Another cool thing, intercooler water spray. The later ones like the GDB, they had those. But the RA was the only way you can get that on the GC8. Super awesome. So there's the deformation of the dashboard that we talked about. It does have this section from the AC version, and their AC compressor and condenser are in the hood, under the hood, but the AC doesn't work. Okay, extra STI gauges. It has been such a long time since I've been thinking about the GC8s, because we don't sell them as much as we used to, but we used to have a brain full of GC8 information, and now it's kind of feeling like it's going away. It's the center diff controller slider. And I think it's the exact same part that they use for the GDB, because it feels the same. Back section here has a battery box. That's funny. I guess seat belts are in there. And speakers in the back. Official Subaru speakers. I think stock these came without Subaru speakers. And usually you get a soft touch headliner, but this one's like a flat one that weighs less. So, pretty cool. So a lightweight racing version of the Impreza. The US never got the turbo versions, so even if you have a turbo like a WRX or an STI, which not many of them head over there because there aren't very many left in Japan, this one's one above that, being the RA version. Okay, so there you have it. Of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to check out the JDM tree, it's over there. And yeah, just a little side note here. They cut down a tree. This one was always the JDM tree. Some people think that this one here that got cut down is a stump underneath that. They thought that was the JDM tree, but it's not true. This one is. And the reason why it came is because when I do the walk around, that tree always has to pass the car. And it's kind of annoying. Alright, there you have it. Of course, if you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, and have a nice day.